Okay, all right, I think we're good. I think we got it all shared out. Any my beer? Okay. I need more room. I need a little side table or something. Let's see. This will be here somewhere. Okay. Hey gang, well look at all you guys rolling in. Yo, 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 boom. Yeah, things that go boom. It's gonna be awesome. Well, maybe, who knows. I kind of fucked up as the Soviets, but don't tell anybody. All right. And I'm learning this as we go. So I've read the rules a couple of times. I kind of get it, but we're just gonna goof around with it and see what happens. I gotta check to see if we have counters. Some sort of informational counter type thingy that shows bits that went splooge. Okay. Ammo, flak, mines, NATO mines. Something with a big red devastation marker? Nope. Okay. I'm sure there's something somewhere. I am totally out of room here. Have a slow start, hey? I told you we just see explosions from the very beginning, but it appears that's not the case. What is this? Sheet, counter sheet. Alright, nothing. Excellent. Excellent. Plan B. Here we go. Now basically the way it works is and the reason why we had to wait till turn 3 is if we play strictly by the rules, you've got to plan 3 turns in advance, and since you can't plan 3 turns in advance until you actually start playing, the way I've done this is that really the first release of nukes is week 3 of the game. So, be that as it may, that's kind of how I read the rules. That may be wrong. Now, we could have made a house rule and said, oh, let's do it from the very beginning. Well, there's a reason why you wouldn't want to do that too. The sequence of play, the nuke phase is its own separate phase, and it's before movement. So you couldn't really do anything with nukes in turn 1 anyway, because you have to have a unit adjacent to what you want to nuke, and you need to have an artillery unit, for instance, in range to deliver artillery-based nuclear warheads. And of course you've got SSMs, which you can, 50 hex range, so it doesn't really matter where they are. And I'm not tracking that shit because we can basically put them wherever we want. And in fact, there's a rule that you can have them off map for both sides. So, excuse me. So, the one neat thing about it is for the very first, so you have a finite number of warheads, and then for they call them pulses, but they're basically, I call them warheads because to me they're warheads. They're not individual warheads, but they're warheads. So what we're going to do now is draw down from our reserves or stockpile, and we're going to allocate them. And in the very first time we do this with some sort of tactical nuclear surprise, you actually can allocate up to 1/3 of your stockpile into one glorious first attack. And then from then onwards, there are per turn limits for air, RT, and SSM delivered nukies. Okay. That said, I actually don't have a lot of awesome things to attack because I suck as a game player. What would have been good is for me in the Fulda Gap area, this is Frankfurt right here, is for me to have had this unit make it to here and attack this hedgehog guy, which is a dinky little 1d2, and just blow it out of the water. And then maybe have had something here and then been able to close in on Frankfurt this game turn. But because I suck, that's not going to happen. Now, one thing that did happen last turn that I probably haven't done any video on turn 2 that I recall, but the NATO forces have kind of gathered parts of 1st Armoured and other elements, and we made a push on the flank here just to really put some threat on supply lines and whatnot on this key crossroad. This is a key crossroad, and so is this one, supply line. And I've actually got units threatening shit in the background there that are going to cause problems for everybody this turn. And now as I look at it, I realized, yes, indeed, I did do that, and it's going to make life difficult for the Soviets. But it doesn't stop us from using nukes, which is good. So you allocate a number of warheads or pulses, as they're called, to a hex, and these are artillery pulses, and these are SSM pulses. And we've got some over here on the left-hand side, and I didn't do any up in the Denmark kind of Danish area just because there really wasn't a suitable target, although I might want to pop that guy. But just, can you see that? Yeah, just on the far left-hand side right there. He is somewhat of an impediment, but not a major impediment. Okay, so I think there is one caveat to all this nuclear business. I don't think I'm allowed to nuke cities, but I might be thinking about a different game. So I'm going to check that. I'm going to say hi to everybody first. Let's see who's here. Devin. Hey, Devin, how was the chat? Did you go to the live chat? Ryan, hey, Toro, hi there. And of course, we got Tony and Mike already. Sweet. Okay, now, let's see. So we're going to do Soviets first, and then I actually get to, I believe I get to do NATO. It's a phase. NATO gets to crank its little action out as well. So let's move some tables out of the way. Put that over there. Try not to knock anything. And I'm going to read this very carefully. Attack procedure. So we put them down. This is the wrong. There's all this nuclear preparedness bullshit, which is, as we've now found out, is all kind of wrong. So we're not going to do any of that. Missile pulses, yada yada. Procedure, units for special defense. Supply heads, bridges, airfields are not affected. Good. Strike any hex within range. Total of the pulses, got it. The attacking player should roll the dice and cross index, yada yada yada. Results in the table, apply, the enemy stack, it does the thing, and another thing happens, and then that's it. Okay, so it doesn't look like there is any effect unless it's in the scenario rules. Well, that's okay. We're going to keep going. Okay. Ryan, we got booms coming. Here we go. Okay, let's just do this. Chart. The way that we make things die when we're doing this, I'm going to try and see. I hate to fold the original rule book around, but there's a nuclear combat results table here. And you can see it's got a number of pulses allocated, and then the die roll, it's a 1d6 spread. You really need 5 to have 2 chances in 6 of eliminating the unit in the hex. Otherwise, you have basically then 5 out of 6 chances of doing some damage, okay? Then you have to roll based on the number of pulses. You've also got to roll for contamination, and I forget what contamination does. I think it increases movement rate. Let's see. Yes, to leave a hex, and anything occupying it at the end is automatically attacked. Yeah, so that'll be fun. Got it. Okay. And I think there's a contamination cleanup thingy. So let's do a small one first. So we got 3 over here. It's in the open, so that's probably a good thing. Where are we? Can I zoom in for you if you want me to zoom in? Let's do that. I would want to zoom in if I were me. Here we go. Let's check this shit out. And we don't have any way to mark it. I need some counters from somewhere. Oh well, never mind. Oh, ha. I know. This will do. Okay, so we're going to do this. Let's do 3. I'm going to roll a d6. It's on the 3 column. I roll a good roll, a 5. Where are we? 5. A 5 makes things go dead. 2 steps die. So, 2 steps here. Now, interesting, it doesn't say how I have to allocate these things. These are not units. I don't think they're not like regular units. Let me see real quick. Results. Quick. Oh, come on. Cross index result. Enemy units stacked in the same X have the die rolled separately. Oh, okay. All right, so it's a 5 for that guy. Let's just roll this other dude. It's a 2, so it's no effect. Well, it is. It's going to be 1 step, so he's dead. And this guy takes 2 steps. So this works like this. We put a 1. Oh, it's been a while. We put a 1 on it, and then we flip it over to a 2. So he's got a 2 on him now. So he did not die. But we've got to do contamination, and I roll a 4 for that. Contamination with 3 pulses of 4 is a 1. How am I going to mark that shicer? I need some... There's not enough of the right counters for this game. See, we've got these generic markers. Okay. Well, contamination of 1. That is what I'm talking about. Okay. That's that attack. That's 3 done. Well, that was kind of disheartening. We need three steps to kill it, or the E results. Now, this guy here, as you can imagine, these missiles come flaming in. 2, 4, 5. This is going to be deadly. Here we go. 5. First unit top to bottom. 5. Boom. With 5, that's dead. So we've killed this unit. I don't think it matters that it's in it. No, it's just there. Kaboom. He already had 2 steps on him anyway. And then there's a dinky little AA unit, and we get a 6, and it's allowed there as well. And now we've got to roll for contamination, and we roll a 3 for that. And a 3 and a 5 is going to be 2, so I need a 2-step thingy. 2-step thingy. Where was it? Where did it go? Here. I'm looking for things. I'm looking for counters. Got a tray over here somewhere, I thought. Shucks. Here we go. Alright. We need one of these dudes with a 2 on the back of it. Oh my god, it's even an unclipped one. That's horrible. There is no shame, so that goes there. All right. Next guy, I did 6 on this hex. We can use these to denote that that's a nuclear strike zone. Wow, hear that stomping? That's a child. All right, so we're doing this hex now. I'm rolling a 6. I hope someone's not asking me a question that's going to make me have to go back and do it all over again. Where's the die? I'm going to roll for the top unit. On the roll, it's it's a 1. I roll the 1. A 1 is a 1. With 6, it's no effect. Next guy's a 2. That's going to be 1 step. What's the next unit down? Ooh, one of those guys. Okay, then. Okay, let me get 1. My info counter. I haven't caught up to the clipping on all my info counters yet. Where did the guy go? Do not move shit around like this, Kevin. It's 318, wasn't it? I think this is it here. Okay, that's... Okay, help me out here. That guy survived. It was this stack, right? It was this stack. Okay, so that's got 1. So let's put that to one side. And this is the hex. Oh, the artillery, not the artillery. Doesn't go in. That's a 4. That's going to be 2 steps. I don't think they can take step losses. So he's going to die. We're going to move him off to the edge. Put him in the die roller. Now that guy is he's dead. 1 step and an EW. They just die. I don't know that they die, but I think they die. We're pretty certain they die. So this goes here, this goes there, and now we've got to roll for contamination, and we roll a 5 on the 6 is a 3. 3 levels of contamination, and we know there won't be any more than 3 because there are no counters that go up above 3. So we'll put this here, we'll put this here, and we'll move on to the next one. I will check comments now. I know it's a little bit blurry. You're not going to be... Yeah. Mike Curtis, you're not funny. Wrong rule. It's 19.2. Haha. Oh, no single malt whiskey. I'm drinking beer tonight, buddy. And yes, the head on it is a little light, but it's been open for about an hour and a half. So, okay. Now this river crossing here has been a pain in my backside. I have some thoughts about combat and how this all works, and I think there's some challenges with this system that need to be thought about before I play it again. Okay, I rolled a 1. Fuck. I mean, doggone it. So that is no effect on those 4. What a waste. Okay. But I'm sure we get contamination. Do we get contamination? Maybe not. Yep, 1, 2, or E. Okay. So we don't do that. No, that's interesting. 1, 2, or E has been achieved. So technically, you can only get it to 1, 2, or E. All right. Where else? That was it. That's it? No, 1 over here. Here's a 4. Now this will be awesome because this is a hedgehog over here. Hello. There we go. Try not to knock the rest of my units. And guess what happens to units that are in hedgehog when you nuke them? Any guesses what happens to hedgehogs when you nuke them? And while I'm waiting for your answers, I shall roll the dice. I must be a good 20 seconds behind you, huh? Okay. No one knows what happens when you do that. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to tell you then, since you can't guess. I roll a 1, no effect. Is that correct? Yes, it is. No effect. All right, well, that is a total bust, because I really wanted to punch that hex pretty hard. Okay, that is the nuclear phase. Now, when I check this, now we must be at least 30-second lag, right? No, here's what happens. It is like crossing the streams. Damage is doubled in hedgehogs. Think about that for a second. You're in an improved position. You're hanging out, thinking life is good. We're going to stop the Ruskies here. Next thing you know, you're a piece of fragile glass. All right, let's have a look at the phase. Nuclear strike stage. All available nuke pulses for the current game turn are detonated by the owning players. Contamination markers are placed. And it breaks down into A, the Warsaw Pact phase, and then B, the NATO phase. So I do get to do the Allied stuff now. Now that's going to be interesting. I've been kind of excited about that. Let's see if we can do this nuke phase for the Allies then, and see what happens. I'm just trying to close the chat window here. Scroll back a little bit, come back. Now, once again, I have to be adjacent. And I have to have an artillery unit or an air unit in range or an SSM in range. Now, the SSMs kind of automatically qualify because it's a 50 hex range. I have at my disposal 4 airstrikes, 10 arty strikes, and 7 missile strikes. Now, I'm not going to use the airstrikes unless I have a really sweet target because of the flak. We have not degraded flak enough yet to do much, but we'll see. Okay, well, the first thing we want to hit is this. Let's see. Do I want to hit this? Either that hex. You would pay for your insolence, or this hex. That's 2 hexes we could hit. Let's make markers. Let's think of where we might want to go. And you guys can maybe, that's blurry as all get out. So this would be a good place to strike in the full gap. This would be a good place to strike, or maybe even that place. What's in there? Holy dude, that's got an HQ in it. Yeah, we're hitting that bad boy. For Shorzy. Probably shouldn't have looked at that. I bet you there's a rule about that. Now, over here in the North German plain, things are kind of grim. We need to slow down the advance, but I'm not adjacent to anybody of note. And do I have artillery in range is the question. I do have some here somewhere. Nope. Nothing there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I do. I have American artillery in range. So here, I can hit this stack right here. Can you see it? Just as they're starting to close in on the Weser, we're gonna punch that biznatch really hard right there. I'm not sure if that counts as a combat unit. That's the only problem. So the backup is that guy. Whoops, that's an HQ monitor. So that's another hex I could hit. Can't really get anything up there in Denmark. The amphibious landings are going to happen there. So let's see. We could do something over here, but I'm really just not too worried about that yet. And I only have 4, 10, and 7. I'm going to have to use the air. You know what? Let's do the air. We'll do the air. So let's start marking these off. We'll do 4. We'll use these guys. 2, 4 for the air. And I'll do all the air right here. Oh, that's a massive set of AA though. No, we're not going to do that. Yeah, I'm just not going to do it. I know that they're all going to die. It's just the AA is too hard. Unless I hang on. Do I have something I could use? Here's a 10 support. Here we go. I can do this. Okay. We can do an escorted mission. It's going to have a 7.5 intercept defensive rating. And I will put, have you ever put it? I'll put it yeah, I guess here. I'll do that guy there. So that's going to be 4 air going in right there. It's got to survive flak though, I believe. Now, the next, we'll do the next 10 artillery. 4, I've got to split this up, huh? 1, 2, 3 attacks. So we can definitely do 6. Let's just mess this up here. Do 1 attack with 6 here. Have I lost you guys? Looks like I might have lost you. Yeah, the scale is a little bit different than Third World War. You have a little bit more maneuver room here. So there's 6 there. Let me make a note of that. That's 6, so that's going to leave me 4 for a total of 11 left. That was a big strike. 11. You know, I could hit this guy. I didn't kill that Artie. Now, see, technically that Artie wouldn't be able to fire, but here's another potential target right here. But I think this one might be better, so we're going to put 4 on that bad boy right next to it. I'm just going to put that there. And that leaves me, that's 4 more, so that corrects it. I've got 7 left. Sweet. 3, 4, 5, 6, come on, 7. All right, we're going to go 5 on this guy. I want to take that hex out, but I'm going to have to. You're going to have to bear with me, and we got to work out what constitutes. Well, we're hitting a hex. Doesn't matter. So there we go. But I have to have a combat unit adjacent to it. That's the problem. And I don't know that that's going to count. Does it say combat unit? Wrong book. Where's the rule book? I'm trying not to knock the we just bumped the Prince of Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein, I should say. Nuclear attack procedure. What are the restrictions? Again. artillery. SSMs, there is no procedure for their use. Oh, an SSM can deliver 2 missiles per pulse per game turn. I think we're okay though. I've got enough to do this. In effect, they are their own delivery system. Okay, it's the artillery that has to have a friendly combat unit that's adjacent. So it is a combat unit. So that won't count. So I can't, this dude over here, he won't count as a combat unit. So we cannot do that. We could do that hex though, because that's a combat unit. So, okay, so that's good to know. So if we're going to do 5, it's on that hex, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to do 4 with the SSM. Well, so there's the thing. I need to find the SSM units. Where are they? I've got 2 there. So there's 4. I can launch 4 at that hex. So I can do that hex. Because there's no requirements. It just says you just shoot, dude. The procedure. Oh, that's very cool. Okay, so that means the rest, that's 4. You keep track of these. I've got 3 left. Do I have another SSM unit that's somewhere here? Here's 6 more. 3 more, so I can do 6, so we don't have to worry about splitting it up. I've got 3 left. 3 left. Where am I doing 3? 1 there. And I can do anybody. I don't have to be adjacent. Well, that changes the landscape a little bit. Let's scooch back. Okay. I can do that guy. I can do that guy. I think that's smart. What if we were to attack these people? What if we were to attack... Yeah, I guess you could attack airfields and destroy air. That would be pretty nifty. The problem is that I've kind of been goofing around. I've been pretty argy-bargy with my where the air is. So I would be reluctant to do that just because it would mess up things a bit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try. We're going to try and get lucky with 3 single. No, we're not. We're going to put 3 on this bad boy right here. That's what we're going to do. Okay, here we go. Let's roll these bad boys. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet, and if we have, I'm sorry. So, 4 on here. Bounced out, and it was a 5, dang it. You fucker. Okay, that was a 1, so that is no effect. Oh, that's got to go through flak first anyway, so that may not even happen. Let's do... Tell you what, I'll resolve flak on this and we'll work out whether or not it goes in. I'm going to do that later. So we'll just call that a non-event and we'll see if we lose units there. So that's my problem to solve later on, and I will put a marker on it to note that. We're going to do 4 here using the SSM. So we're going to roll. Roll 4. 4 on 4 is 1 hit on the top unit. That's this HQ, so he takes a hit. Put that guy there like this. Next unit is the artillery. He takes a hit. 4, I think that, I'm going to check to see if they take steps or not. We're going to put 1 on for the moment. And then the EW, I don't think they get affected. Right, so that, I know I put this on this, but I'm doing this hex. Because I can use... Oh, wait. Yeah, I can't do that because I have to use artillery and they have to be adjacent. I've got to use arty on this guy. So let's see, it's 1 hit on here. Sorry about that, guys. So this dies. This comes off here and goes underneath this guy, and that comes off there. That saves me worrying about the artillery, and that goes back in there. And that goes away. And we roll for contamination. And I roll out again. Get in that box, dude. 2. I don't think that's going to be anything on a 4. Nope. No contamination. That's a pity, actually. Because that would slow down the attack. Okay. So that was that hex. And that's that done. So let's move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. And did I do this? I missed over here, didn't I? did, right? Okay, I'll leave that there for a moment. Now, 6 on this hex. First unit and on the top. 1, 5 for the next unit down. Oh, it's a freaking HQ, who cares? At the moment, nobody cares. They may care later. So this guy gets a 1. Next guy down is artillery. 4. 4 is, with 6 is dead. So that's dead. Put that in the dead pile. And the next one is nothing, but if there's 1 unit underneath here, what is that? Ah, see, that was a SAM unit. So that goes like that. We didn't do any damage there, but we are going to do some contamination damage probably. But I don't think we're going to care about that hex. 5 on a contamination is 3. Contamination, so let's grab a 3 and whack that here. Well, that was very dissatisfying result. Move those guys out. Now we're going to do this attack on that hex there with 4. Now, while it's a big old stack, I don't know there's a whole much in there. Lost me when you went to beer. Really? Not sure what that meant. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, the only reason I'm drinking beer is because I am out of Irish whiskey right now. All right. All I have is a French whiskey upstairs that I'm not that keen on. Top unit. On a 4, I roll a 5. That's going to hurt. That's a HQ. A 4 with a 5 is 2 steps. So we'll put a 2 on that. Now that's going to mean a 3 for them, because they go 1, 3 in their rotation. Oh, and that's got an SSM unit in it. Well, we can kill them and they can't come back. And we do kill it. A 4 on a 2 is a kill. That's 1 step. So that dies. That's a blow. I don't know why the hell that was up there. I was trying to keep it up close, I guess. Now, Artie takes a step loss. I'm pretty sure that kills that unit, but just in case it doesn't, we'll put 1 underneath it. So that's another unit. And then we've got this that doesn't count. We've got SAM unit. We roll a 4. That's an eliminated. No, that's 1 as well. I think they only take 1 step. And then another SAM unit and another step. So he does. Okay. Don't think he can kill the EW. All right, so all that shicer goes there. There was no divisions in that hex. That sucked. Okay. All right. Contamination. Die roll. 4. On a 4 is 2. Put a 2 on top of all that crap. There we go. All right, that's contaminated. So that is the long and the short of it. That is the nuclear phase. So now we're going to move to the NATO Warsaw Pact. We're going to move to the Warsaw Pact activation, I believe. I think that's the next thing that we do here. Yeah, Warsaw Pact land stage. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, French whiskey, that's it. It's called Ballantines. Or Ballantines? I don't know, it's something unusual I've never seen before. All right, I'll let you guys go. That's it. 34 minutes of nuclear carnage. We are also going to release chemical weapons this turn as well. We're trying to go for the Big Bang Theory. Later.